Under standard ambient temperature, 24.8 liters of volume will be considered. So here the Loschmidt number we can define as the number of molecules present in 1 ml of a 1 ml of a gas at STP conditions is known as Loschmidt number. See here n is nothing but Avogadro number 22,400, that is 1 ml. 22,400 at STP conditions, 1 ml of a gas at STP conditions, that is nothing but 22,400. We have to divide 1 ml will have a 22,000 Avogadro number of molecules, then 22,400 will have how much, then that gives n by 22,400 ml. So n is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 by 22,400. That is nothing but, if you calculate this, you will get 2.68 into 10 to the power of 19 molecules. This 2.68 into 10 to the power of 19 molecules is known as the Loschmidt number. Okay, next I will go for the pressure. Next one is the pressure. What is meant by pressure? See, the pressure of a gas is defined as the force per unit area. This one we know everyone. Force per unit area is called its pressure. This is measured with the manometer. The manometer, it is measured with manometer. And the atmospheric pressure is measured with the barometer. Generally pressure measured with the manometer, but atmospheric pressure measured with the barometer. Measured with the barometer. So here the general units, 1 atmosphere equal to 0.987 bars, which is equals to 10 to the power of 5 pascals. And also here 1 atmosphere we can turn into mm of Hg also. This mm of Hg belongs to the atmospheric pressure, that is nothing but according to the barometer. So 1 atmosphere we can consider as 76 centimeter of Hg or 760 mm of Hg. 76 centimeter of Hg or 760 mm of Hg also we can consider. This is about the atmospheric pressure in terms is considered. 1 atmosphere general units are 0.987 bar or 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Generally, here the units of the pressure in terms of bars is considered. 1 bar equal to, these conversions are very important. Everyone should write down, note down these also. 1 bar equal to 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter square. 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter square. That is what I written over here. 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter. Here you can write 1 atmosphere is 0.987 bar, which is equal to 10 to the power of 5 pascals, and which is equals to, in terms of 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter square. This dynes centimeter square is Celsius system. This dynes centimeter square is the Celsius system. Write down. Here I will give you some conversions. Just write down that conversions. Pressure of tar, 1 tar equal to 1 mm of Hg. 1 mm of Hg. 1 Pascal equals to 1 Newton per meter square. Dynes per centimeter square is the CJ system. Newtons per meter square is the SI system. So Newton per meter square, which is equals to 1 kg per meters second. So here the general conversions you may consider over here is 1 atmosphere is equals to 1.01325 into 10 to the power of 6 dynes per centimeter square. These conversions are very important. Even these conversions will help you in the physics also. 1 atmosphere, and this 1.01325 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. This is in CJ system, this is in SI system. And you can consider this 1.01325 into 10 to the power of 5 even in pascals also. This 10 to the power of 5 pascals is 1 bar. So you can write 1.01325 bars. Anyway, 1 bar is nothing but 1 mm of Hg, that is nothing but 760. So you can write 760 tar. Means 1.01325 bar is equals to 760 tar. And these are the general conversions after this pressure. So we completed mass and volume, ambient temperature, and Loschmidt number. 2.68 into 10 to the power of 19 molecules per mole is the Loschmidt number. Next one is the pressure. Pressure in conversions are very important. Okay, next one, write the heading temperature. Before that is the not a complete temperature, that is the ambient temperature we have studied. Now the next point we are going to study is the temperature. All these are the basics we should know. Actually, states of matter I can start with gas laws. Directly I can start with the gas laws, Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, like. But why we are discussing all these intermolecular forces and why we are studying these measurable properties, we should know all this. Once if we know this, then all the physical chemistry will be easy to us. That's why I am explaining here in states of matter. See, so temperature. What is the temperature? The temperature of a gas, already also we know the units, that is degrees Celsius, or on the Celsius scale. The temperature we can express in absolute scale or Kelvin scale also. Celsius scale degrees Celsius, in the absolute scale or Kelvin scale means Kelvins we can consider that absolute zero is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius or 273 degrees Celsius, minus 273 degrees Celsius. The temperature of a gas in absolute scale or Kelvin scale is given by whatever we have taken the absolute zero. This is in the Celsius scale. If you want to take in Kelvin's scale, then absolute zero will be 0 Kelvin. That is nothing but degrees Celsius will be added by 273 Kelvin. So degrees Celsius plus 273, which is equals to, on the Kelvin scale, degrees Celsius, okay, degrees Celsius plus 273. This gives you the temperature. Here we have three conditions, that is absolute zero, molecular motion in the gas ceases, pressure of the gas becomes 0, volume of the gas becomes 0, kinetic energy of the gas becomes 0. These are the conditions at absolute zero temperature. What happens at absolute zero temperature? Here temperature is nothing but conversions we have taken. The temperature we will take in the degrees Celsius or Kelvin scale. Degrees Celsius we call as a Celsius scale, Kelvin we call as a Kelvin scale. Degrees Celsius we have to convert into the Kelvins because temperature at STP is nothing but 0 degrees Celsius. That is called absolute zero. That one, if you are considering absolute 0 Kelvin minus 273.15 degrees Celsius is called absolute zero, or minus 273 degrees Celsius is called absolute zero. To get the in the Kelvin scale, 0 degrees Celsius plus 273. This absolute zero you want to convert into the Kelvin, you have to add the 273. Minus 273.15 degrees Celsius plus 273 gives you 0 Kelvin. That 0 Kelvin is nothing but called absolute 0 degrees Celsius plus 273. Okay, now what are the, at absolute zero temperature, what happens exactly? At absolute zero, what happens exactly? Pressure of gas becomes 0 and volume of gas becomes 0. Kinetic energy of the gas means no movement of the molecules, because no pressure, no volume, there is no motion of the molecules. Molecules motion will be ceases. Actually that is why kinetic energy, volume, pressure will be 0. The main point is molecular motion ceases. If no molecule is moving, then there is no pressure, there is no volume, there is no kinetic energy. So this is what absolute zero. Right. So whatever in the states of matter we have discussed, all these are the basic properties. Intermolecular forces, measurable properties, all these are the basic terminology. I explained the basics because to get strong in the physical chemistry, all these are the, if you are thorough with the states of matter, this PV equals to nRT ideal gas equation we use in so many problems. Even sometimes in stoichiometry also we use PV equal to nRT while doing the chemical kinetics or whatever, chemical equilibrium. Sometimes to get the concentration we have to use a molarity formula. In that molarity formula they won't give the molarity directly, we have to use the PV equal to nRT formula. That's why this is the major chapter, means very important chapter, gaseous state. So I gone through all the basics which are required to do the physical chemistry. So we'll go to the main part of the gaseous state. The main topics are gas laws. From here onwards our states of matter, means our gaseous state main topic is going to start. Okay, write the heading gaseous state in gas laws. So gas laws, everyone knows how many gas laws we have. That is Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law. So what is here? The laws which relate the properties of gases like pressure, volume, mass and temperature are called gas laws. That's why we have studied these measurable properties. What is meant by gas laws? Gas laws definition is nothing but which relate the laws, because gases measurable properties only mass, volume, temperature and pressure. So the gas laws which relate to mass, volume, temperature and pressure are said to be gas laws. So I'll start with the first law. First law is the Boyle's law. What is the definition for Boyle's law? Listen carefully from here onwards. So whatever the gas properties, whatever the STP conditions, all those are the basics. Already some of you know that. From here onwards state of matter starts, and we'll do the different problems based on this. What is the Boyle's law? Boyle's law is nothing but at constant temperature. In Boyle's law, constant temperature values at constant temperature, pressure or volume, we can take anything. The volume of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. So at constant temperature V is proportional to 1 by P, then PV is proportional to constant. The statement for Boyle's law, at constant temperature volume of the gas is inversely proportional to its pressure, then V proportional to 1 by P, that is PV equals to constant. If you are taking this PV equals to constant for two different gases, then we will get P1 V1 equals to P2 V2. P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. And volume, we are considering that volume is nothing but the density. Mass by volume is called the density. So we can convert this into the densities also. P1 by D1 equals to P2 by T2, like we can take. And here very important one, here we have to take the relation between the pressure and volume. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure. So I want to draw a graph between the pressure and volume. So here I am taking the pressure, here I am taking the pressure, and here I am taking the volume. So pressure is on y-axis and volume is on x-axis. I am taking, both are inversely proportional to each other. So obviously you'll get volume is increasing, then pressure will be decreases, then the graph will be like this. At at constant temperatures we are taken. So at constant temperature volume is increases, pressure will be decreases, then the graph will be like this. This is called hyperbola. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. The graph is said to be hyperbola. And here at suppose it is at T1. If you are changing the temperature, then the graph will be at T2. The graph will be at the T3. So the T3, so the temperature is increasing, the volume and pressure. So obviously we can take T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1, like over here. So this is the graph I have taken pressure and volume. If I take pressure and 1 by volume, so that will be straight line passing through the origin, because pressure and volume and pressure are inversely proportional to each other. But pressure, this V proportional to 1 by P, can we write as P proportional to 1 by V? P proportional to 1 by V. These two are directly proportional to each other. So P proportional to 1 by V are directly proportional to each other. So P and 1 by V both are. If P is increasing, 1 by V also increases. So here we can take straight line passing through the origin. P proportional to 1 by V. The graph we are getting that straight line passing through the origin. Here also same, if you are taking for the different temperatures. 1 by V and pressure, it is P1, sorry, temperature T1, it is T2 and it will be T3. So T1, T2, T3, pressure is inversely proportional. So this is straight line passing through origin. It is inversely proportional. That's why we get the hyperbola. Here also the condition is T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. Here one more important point we have to remember, that is the at high temperatures, if we are getting at high temperature is increasing, at high temperatures this Boyle's law may not be obeyed. So P is not directly proportional to 1 by V. So we cannot get the straight line passing through the origin. This is one more important point to remember. So here see, Boyle's law at constant temperature, volume is directly proportional to P 1 by P. Our pressure is inversely proportional to 1 by V. PV equals to constant. P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. So I have taken the graphs. The graphs V proportional to 1 by P. So inversely pressure and I have taken, these are important, pressure and volume terms. Both are inversely proportional to each other. So I got the graph is hyperbola. And this is, I am taking now the graph. This is the first graph and this is the second graph. P is inversely proportional to 1 by P is inversely proportional to V. While talking inversely, we have to take V. While talking directly, we have to take 1 by V. Now P is directly proportional to 1 by V. That's why straight line passing through origin, P and 1 by V graph at different temperatures. If temperature is increasing, we will get the Boyle's law may not be obeyed. Boyle's law may not be obeyed. If it is not obeying, then we cannot get the straight line passing through the origin like. So just write down simply. In the previous class we gone through the theory, you may get bored, but from now onwards states of matter will be very interesting because we'll do the number of problems and number of calculations. Please don't come to the conclusion by taking the states of matters starting class. Write down this one. And one more graph also there. Actually I want to explain that, so I'll draw from here. That is nothing but PV equal to constant. This is the first graph, this is the second graph, this is straight line passing through origin, this is hyperbola, and third relation is nothing but PV equals to constant. That one you have to remember, that always you are taking the constant, then see here you are taking PV and P. PV is the constant P. So if you are increasing the P also, there is no change in PV. That's why it will be like this. You may get doubt. If I am taking PV is here, P is here, then you will get the graph like this. Because even though if you are increasing the pressure also, there is no change in PV because PV is constant. That's why you will get the graph like this. If you are taking PV and P, if you are increasing or decreasing the P also, there is no change in PV. That's why we will get the graph like this. So these are the three graphs. Two more graphs also there, I will explain. Just graphs are very easy and very important also. Okay, some more graphs are there. I'll go for the next. Next, come to the fourth graph relation. Next, graphical relation. Oh no. So next graph, fourth graph is nothing but the graph between. So next graph, the graph between so here I am taking the one more graph. That graph here the main condition we have to remember that low pressure and high temperature. Low pressure and high temperatures is considered. The gases obeys the gas law, I mean Boyle's law at low pressure and high temperature conditions. Here I am drawing one more graph between the log P. Means I am taking the logs on both sides, P and 1 by V. See, P and 1 by V directly proportional to each other. So I drawn the straight line passing through the origin in the previous graph. But here now I am taking the logarithms to both, then log P and log 1 by V. May the graph will be comes like this. So this is nothing but, see, the relation is nothing but PV equals to K is nothing but the constant. If you apply the logarithms to this, log AB, that is nothing but log P plus log V, which is equals to log K. Log P plus log V is equal to log K. Otherwise, we can take log K into log P I want. Then log P equal to log K minus log V. Instead of this log K minus log V, can I write log K plus log 1 by V? Log 1 by V. So I am drawing the graph between this log P and log 1 by V. So log P and log 1 by V will get the graph like this. It is not the straight line passing through the origin. This gap is because of this constant. This is the next graph, and one more graph is there. Here I have taken log P and log 1 by V, log P versus log 1 by V, and one more graph is between. One more graph is in between log P and log V. How did we get this log P and log V relation? We'll see. PV equals to K. The previous relation what I have taken the same. So it is log P plus log V equals to log K. I applied logs both sides. Then log P equals to log K minus log V. Now there plus, that's why I got the graph over like this. Here I am getting the minus log V. To this I am drawing. So I'll get the graph just like this. Log P and log V. These relations are, how did we get? This is not 10G. Don't think this is as 10G. Just simply I written the log. This is also log. Don't think 10 grams. How did we get 10 grams? Like, it is log. Here at constant temperature, so always the graphs at constant temperature are said to be isotherms. So whatever the 5 graphs I have taken here, those are said to be isotherms. Because at constant temperature, Boyle's law works. At constant temperature, volume is inversely proportional to its pressure. So whatever the graphs we have drawn, all are at constant temperature. So these graphs are said to be isotherms. Next one is Charles' law. Next one, Charles' law. Second gas law is nothing but Charles' law. It is at constant volume. There we have taken at constant temperature. Here it is constant volume. We can take Charles' law at constant pressure. Volume is directly proportional to the temperature. At constant pressure, the graphs we drawn, those are said to be isobars. At constant pressure, volume is directly proportional to temperature. So this one we can write V by T is equals to constant. V by T is nothing but V1 by T1 equals to V2 by T2. This one only we can write V1 by V2 equals to T1 by T2. V1 by T1 equal to V2 by T2. V1 by V2 equal to T1 by T2. This is called Charles' law and this is called Charles' law 1. At constant pressure, volume is directly proportional to temperature. V by T equal to constant. V1 by T1 equal to V2 by T2 or V1 by V2 equal to T1 by T2. If you draw the graph for V is directly proportional to T, V and T, this straight line passing through the origin, because both are directly proportional to each other, and this is said to be isobar because at constant pressure we are drawing. So this is said to be isobar. This is called Charles' law 1, and we have a second law in the Charles' law, that is called Charles' law 2, modified Charles' law, that is also called as Gay-Lussac's law. This is the Charles' law 1. Direct statement: at constant pressure, volume is directly proportional to the temperature. V by T equal to constant. V1 by T1 equal